Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. So, friends and family of accused pedophile and child sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell are doing everything in their power to get her released from prison prior to her trial. They've even launched an operation called GGO, which stands for Get Ghislaine Out. And now attorneys for Maxwell have filed a complaint with the court due to her living conditions in prison. So, and no, I'm not kidding. According to Maxwell's friends and legal team, she's living in hell, basically. I mean, she's in solitary confinement. She's not allowed to have soap, a toothbrush, or even a bra. I mean, of course, a lot of this is because of suicide concerns. They don't want her to end up like Jeffrey Epstein. Not that I think that he committed suicide. But you don't want anyone to have a reason to say, oh, she must have committed suicide. Oh, gosh, we shouldn't have let her have a bra. No, you don't even want them to have an excuse. Also, to confirm that she's still breathing, they allege that guards shine a flashlight into Maxwell's cell every 15 minutes. And her attorneys claim that she's being monitored by surveillance cameras in her cell around the clock, and that there's so much noise with the guards yelling all the time. Oh, the poor little Ghislaine can't get any sleep. Wow. Boo effing who. I wonder how much sleep her victims have lost over the decades due to what she did to them. So in addition, she has purportedly lost 25 pounds since being in prison due to the fact that she's a vegan and there's very few options to choose from. I'm also a vegan, still have no compassion, no empathy for her. I don't really care, do you? Her advocates are using her living conditions, though, as an excuse to spring her from jail prior to her trial next July. So it's approximately 7.5 months away. And one of her attorneys even argued that she should be released pending trial because she's a, quote, nonviolent, exemplary pretrial detainee with no criminal history and no history of mental health issues or suicidal tendencies. First of all, Epstein didn't have suicidal tendencies either. But funny what happens when people with power and money and prestige want to keep their secrets hidden. And I would argue that rape is pretty damn violent, something of which she's accused of. I would also argue that the only reason she doesn't have a criminal history is because our justice system failed her victims. And those who ignored and helped to cover up her crimes and Epstein's crimes failed their young victims for decades. But for all of these people allowing them to get away with these disgusting, reprehensible crimes, she would have a criminal history. So the government responded to these ridiculous complaints with a very different set of facts. They tell a very different story. According to the Justice Department, due to one of the prison employees testing positive for COVID, Maxwell and all other inmates are currently only allowed out of their cell 3 days per week for 30-minute intervals. However, during these 30-minute periods, she can shower, she can make personal phone calls, she can use the prison's email system. I mean, what does she expect in prison? It's not a wellness retreat. And Maxwell is also allowed to spend an additional 3 hours a day speaking with her attorneys, and she's granted authority to use a laptop in her cell for 13 hours every day to prepare for her defense. In fact, the rebuttal letter from the DOJ stated that when Maxwell is not in quarantine because of this COVID scare, she's able to leave her cell from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day to use the computer, prepare for her defense, meet with her attorneys. They also claim she's receiving more time than any other inmate to prepare for her trial. So if anything, the other detainees, the other inmates should be complaining. And a former warden for the detention facility where Maxwell is being held It's a man named Cameron Lindsay. He disputes some of these claims about her living conditions. So he spoke with the Daily Mail, and he said that while it's normal for guards to check on inmates with a flashlight, he said as they're making their nightly rounds, that's just standard. That's what they're supposed to do. He said that it's likely that they're exaggerating the fact that it's every 15 minutes. Now, he did say, he did make the caveat that, yes, she is a special case, so they might be taking extra precautions, but that's typically not how often they do things like that. He also said it would be highly unusual to find a camera in her cell, which I find kind of unbelievable as well. And it should also be noted, Maxwell's attorneys have also argued that she should be released due to COVID. But then they're complaining that she's kept in isolation and separate from other inmates. So which is it? Is she at risk of COVID, or is she being kept in solitary? Hard to get COVID when the only interaction you're having is with somebody coming and slipping your food tray through a door. So they really need to make up their mind about their complaints because they're not making any sense, but oh, well. Womp womp and thoughts and prayers for little Ghislaine. I have absolutely zero sympathy for this woman. What hell did she put her victims through? If everything they say is true, this woman has tortured children. She has pimped them out to old, disgusting, nasty men. She has violated them herself. She has physically, aggressively raped some of them. She watched as Epstein raped some of them, threatened them. She deserves everything that's going on right now with her in prison, and so much more, so much more. It's not even the tip of the iceberg of what she deserves. So, boo effing who. I will let you know when I hear more. As always, like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching and listening. I'll talk with you soon. Take care. Thanks for listening to Plants and Politics. The only way we can take our country and power back is to spread the truth and build an army. So remember to like, follow, subscribe, and share on Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thanks again.